Welcome to This Explainer. Look, if you've been keeping even half an eye on the job market lately, you already know the finance industry is going through an absolutely massive transformation. It's a highly lucrative, rapidly evolving, and intensely data-driven world right now. To give you an idea of the stakes, peak roles in this specific career path can command salaries upwards of 25 lakhs per annum, right here in India. That is huge. Today, we are going to break down exactly what that means for you and how you can actually position yourself to take advantage of it. We are building a clear, step-by-step roadmap to mastering financial modeling, which is hands down the most in-demand skill out there today.
Here is our agenda for today. First, we'll look at the new face of finance. Second, top roles and salaries. Third, who exactly is hiring modelers. Fourth, your specific financial modeling roadmap. And fifth, the future of finance. Let's get right to it.
Section 1, the new face of finance. Let's start by totally shattering a major misconception about what this industry actually looks like. If your brain immediately goes to boring accounting, balancing books, and just staring in the rearview mirror at historical numbers, well, it's time to reset those expectations completely. Finance is no longer just accounting. Traditional accounting is fundamentally historical, right? It neatly records what already happened. But modern finance, it is entirely focused on what is going to happen next. It's forward-looking, it's incredibly dynamic, and it's deeply strategic. In today's fast-paced economy, looking backward just isn't going to cut it to survive. You literally have to be able to predict the future.
So, today's professionals solve business problems using data and financial models. The magic doesn't happen in dusty ledgers anymore. It happens in the data. Think of modern finance pros as elite, high-level problem solvers. Imagine a company trying to decide if they should acquire a major competitor. You can't just glance at last year's tax returns to make a multi-million-dollar choice, right? You have to build a highly sophisticated financial model. These folks take raw data, run it through complex models, forecast potential outcomes, and analyze the risk. This unique ability to drive major strategic decisions is exactly why this has become one of the highest-paying, fastest-growing career domains in the world. It is quite literally the engine driving business strategy.
Moving on to Section 2, top roles and salaries. Because this work is so incredibly strategic, the compensation is highly competitive. Let's look at the actual numbers. Just look at the immense earning potential across these 10 different finance careers in India. It's totally fascinating to see how the journey evolves. When you start out as a financial analyst, you're building your foundational skills looking at a very solid starting base of 5 to 10 lakhs per annum. But as you level up and master the art of predicting future trends, your value skyrockets. Take an FP&A analyst, for example. Because they're directly advising management on budgets and forecasts, they pull in 8 to 18 LPA. Then you've got portfolio analysts and dedicated financial modelers building custom quantitative models. They see those ranges push all the way up to 20 LPA. The market clearly places a massive premium on predictive skills over basic reporting.
And then we reach the absolute peak, up to 25 lakhs per annum. That is the staggering average for an investment banking analyst in India. Talk about a massive return on investment for mastering financial modeling. The reason for this incredible premium is simply scale. An investment banking analyst is building models for multi-billion-dollar mergers, acquisitions, and initial public offerings. When the model you build dictates the terms of a billion-dollar deal, the stakes absolutely justify that exceptional salary.
Section 3, who is hiring modelers? With salaries that high, you're probably wondering whose pockets this money is actually coming from.
Well, the demand is remarkably universal across the global economy. We're talking investment banking, equity research, corporate finance, private equity, venture capital, fintech, asset management, mutual funds. The applications are incredibly diverse. For instance, a high-stakes private equity firm needs a modeler to accurately value a massive corporate buyout. On the flip side, a sleek new fintech startup needs one to project user growth and cash burn rate. Whether it's traditional powerhouses like commercial banking or high-risk sectors like venture capital, the fundamental truth remains the exact same. If money is moving, an industry needs financial modelers to forecast exactly where it's going.
When we zoom in on the specific giants hiring for these roles, it reads like a who's who of global commerce. We are talking about elite, Tier 1 investment banks like Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, and Bank of America aggressively hunting for top-tier modeling talent. Right alongside them are the big four accounting and consulting networks, Deloitte, EY, KPMG, and PwC. These massive firms rely heavily on complex financial models to advise the biggest corporations on Earth regarding global restructurings, tax strategies, and mega acquisitions.
But hey, the demand isn't just limited to Wall Street or traditional international banks. Financial modeling is a universal business language. Top-tier strategic consulting firms like Accenture, BCG, Bain, and McKinsey desperately need these exact skills to build out their strategic recommendations for Fortune 500 clients. Then you have massive Indian corporate conglomerates like the Tata Group, Reliance, Aditya Birla, and TCS needing highly skilled internal modelers for their own capital allocation and global expansion. And crucially, innovative fintech disruptors like Zerodha, Grove, PhonePe, and Razorpay are scooping up modelers left and right to build the next generation of digital financial products. Seriously, the demand is absolutely everywhere.
Section 4, your financial modeling roadmap. Now that you see the immense potential and exactly who is hiring, let's map out how you can actually get there. Securing these roles means proving your competence before you even walk into the interview room. The right certifications add immediate, verifiable value to your resume. You essentially have two fantastic paths here, depending on your career goals. If you want global mobility, international heavyweights like the FMBA, CFA, FRM, CPA, or ACCA act as a global gold standard. They prove you can compete on a world stage. On the other hand, if you want to completely dominate the domestic Indian market, regulatory-backed certifications from NISM, the NSC Academy, or the BSc Institute give you an immediate, highly localized edge that Indian hiring managers deeply respect.
To truly stand out, however, traditional finance knowledge just isn't enough anymore. You have to master modern technical tools. Modern finance is deeply intertwined with big data, and you cannot rely on basic spreadsheets alone. You must equip yourself with a robust modern technology stack. We are talking about mastering Power BI for advanced dynamic data visualization, so executives can understand trends at a glance. You need SQL for querying massive databases with millions of rows. And increasingly, you need Python, specifically tailored for finance, which lets you automate repetitive tasks and build predictive algorithms that would frankly crash a standard spreadsheet in seconds. This sweet spot between finance and technology, that is exactly where the highest salaries live.
So let's distill your personal roadmap down to 4 straightforward, actionable steps. Step 1. Identify your target career path. Figure out if you're drawn to the stability of FP&A, the high stakes of investment banking, or the rapid growth of venture capital. Step 2. Acquire the right certifications, international or Indian, to validate your knowledge to recruiters. Step 3. Master those critical data tools, like Power BI, SQL, and Python, to prove you can actually handle modern, massive data sets. And finally, Step 4. Aggressively target the diverse ecosystem of companies we just covered, explicitly tailoring your newly acquired skills to solve their specific business problems.
And finally, Section 5, the future of finance. We've built your roadmap for today, but what does your destination look like 5 or 10 years down the line? As we look at the future of finance, it's abundantly clear that the days of manual data entry, simple ledger keeping, and basic spreadsheet calculations are completely dead. The future belongs exclusively to the hybrid professional. I'm talking about the person who fluently speaks both the language of deep financial theory and the language of advanced data analytics. Companies no longer just want you to report the numbers from last quarter, they expect you to model the future and confidently tell them what strategic moves they need to make tomorrow. The opportunities are massive. The compensation clearly reflects the incredibly high value of the work, and the roadmap is laid out right in front of you. You know exactly which certifications to pursue and the specific tech tools you need to master. So the only question left to answer is, what is your next move in the data-driven future of finance? It's time to start building those skills today and take your rightful place in this exciting industry. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.